You can now send in pictures or videos of innovations or projects being worked on by you or someone you know. All you need to do is download the Channels TV mobile app, launch and tap the menu on the top left, click on the Eyewitness section. You'd see a camera feature both at the top right and bottom right. Click on any. You'd see an option to either take a picture, record a video, or upload from your gallery. Select what you want to upload, give a description, add a report title, and in this case, TechTrends/My Innovation. Add your name, and you can also include a number for a follow-up. Agree to the terms and submit your report. You can also share via our social media handles showing on the screen using the hashtag #MyInnovationOnTechTrends.
The tech industry by nature is progressive and innovative, but it still has a serious gender gap despite efforts to encourage women to be a part of its growing community. Over the past year, the call for more female inclusion and collaboration has continued to grow louder, with more emphasis placed on bridging the gap between men and women. Despite being equal users of technology, females do not participate equally in its development, and although women are gradually becoming key drivers in rapid expansion and development of a tech-driven market and economy, there's still a long way to go. For some individuals, it is best to have more inclusive movement, with women integrated into the larger tech ecosystem than exclusive ones that foster even more segregation. Having women in senior leadership roles would positively encourage other females to join any organization, thereby increasing overall company growth and productivity. Some of the big names in the industry are setting up programs to boost the shrinking number of women in technology roles, but with more women leaving the industry, having role models at the top gets increasingly difficult. This adds to the image of a male-dominated tech world and the cycle of female discouragement. But aside sexism, role models and stereotypes, the industry makes it difficult to combine having a tech career with motherhood. Tech employers who aren't supportive of their female staff don't offer any flexibility, and this can only further discourage the females. Although the population of women in the tech space is still lagging compared to that of the men, it is however important for young girls and women to know they have the opportunity to change the tech scene and become positive influences.
Alright, welcome to Tech Trends.
Thank you, CFA. Nice to be here.
So tell me, how important is technology in Nigeria today?
Technology is very important. It's changing how we are doing everything in terms of the financial services, in terms of health, in terms of access to information, and it's also a fast-growing contributor to GDP. Technology solves problems, and research shows that the best kind of technology is created by diverse teams. So teams made up of men, women, and people of different backgrounds. So if you have technology that is being created by just men, then it's not really representing the different types of needs and solving the range of problems that it could. But technology is a game changer today.
Do you think we're taking full advantage of technology as a nation?
I think that we are. I think that people who use technology, people who work in technology are very serious about technology. But what I find out is that the people who are not in that space feel that technology it's complex. Maybe it doesn't apply to them. They may not actually think about the devices, the tools they use as technology. So there are lots of people who could be in that space, who could be contributing, young people who may think about careers in technology, but they're not attracted to it because they don't even see it as for them. But I mean, I think that there are different, initiatives aimed at encouraging, especially, tech startups. So that's one area that I think gets a lot of attention and gets a lot of focus. Maybe in terms of actually attracting the next generation of people into technology, there's definitely more happening in that space now, because when I think about where we started, 10 years ago, I mean, there was very little. But now, you hear of camps, you hear of, different programs aimed at young people and encouraging young people to be aware of technology and to really consider technology as a career.
What about the policy side?
Policy, I think definitely, there needs to be a lot more in terms of focus and emphasis on local content. What I see is that sometimes there tends to be maybe like a trend or focus on a trend, but I think that there's still a lot more that tends to be done. I think that what I see happening in general is, focus on funding, and then maybe, programs to encourage, young tech entrepreneurs. But they're definitely, in terms of making sure that, people have access to the infrastructure, access to education, access to just the kind of opportunities that would encourage them to seriously look at, tech as a space that they can operate in and contribute to.
Women in technology, are you happy with the numbers?
Definitely not. There are not a lot of there's not a lot of like hardcore data. The data that we do have access to, NYSC compiles the numbers of graduates of different courses, and so the latest figures show that in terms of engineering technology graduates, women make up just about 20% of that. So imagine 20% of all the graduates in Nigeria from engineering and technology courses, just 20% of that are women. And then research shows that, a lot of women are not going to practice. So either, they struggle through the course, they graduate, I have my degree, great, I'm going off to do other things. Or they actually start their career, and then within the first 10 years, a lot of women drop out for just different reasons. So you find in terms of women who are rising to the leadership positions, executive positions where they can actually, make a difference, there are so few women in those spaces.
Do you think the girls have enough role models that have succeeded in that field that they can look up to?
Of course, there are fewer women working in this space than guys. But I think, our culture has, a big part to play in that. Women are raised, or girls basically are raised to be quiet, to be gentle, to be submissive. That's the idea of, the perfect woman and the perfect wife of the future. You can't raise girls like that and then all of a sudden expect them to be women who are bold and, out there. And, to their credit, a lot of women are bold and a lot of women are achieving things. But I think there's still, a cultural hang-up that, I shouldn't be out there too much. But what I try to say is that everyone has experience, everyone has knowledge that's valid. When I started WTech, people used to ask me to come and speak. And of course, when I started, I too had the same notion that I just started. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm still trying to figure things out. But I realized that, what they were giving me was a platform which I could talk to people. I could talk about the issues. I could talk about the gender gap in, science and tech. I could talk about what we're doing. We could explore strategies, to close that gap. It's also an opportunity to meet people, talk to people, to brainstorm, to connect with people. And, women are, generally good at connecting. So I say, that's one way to think about it.
Finally, over the next 10 years, where do you think your mission will be, and what kind of support do you hope you will receive?
Wow, okay, so 10 years, I expect that, we really would have changed things in terms of the tech space, especially in terms of producing qualified women working in the science and tech space. You'll have fewer girls saying that they don't have enough female role models, because at least we'll have our WTech alumni, out there doing great things.
All right, thank you very much for today.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.